I guess you can't call this a project. This is more of a fix-up or repair. I've got my old skill saw here, and the problem I've got with it is that the cord is broken right there. So I'm going to replace the cord. Now, at some time in the past, I think probably a year ago, I put a new end on it, a new plug, and I'll save that and put it on a new cord. Well, first off, I've got the screws to remove in here, and I've got the correct size Torx bit, because that's what they are, just to remove those. I got 5 of them pulled out. They were okay, no problem. Those are in these shallow sockets right here. My bit could fit in. The last one is right inside here. So I got a bit holder that goes down so far and then it stops. So I guess the hole gets narrower as it goes down. I've got a 3/8 inch bit that I'm going to try to clean out this hole with. Now I can take the bit holder, put the bit in, got my screwdriver, and then use that to get in there and undo that screw. And the handle on the back should come right off. Now here's the switch here, and it's got screw terminals on the back here, and looking at it I can tell that I've already changed the cord on this. I didn't think I did, but I guess at some point I did. Now, take the screw out that holds the switch in. These ones go off to the motor. These ones come in from the cord, and that definitely looks like something I would do. I took the cord, the wires, I split them in half. I twisted the first part around. I then twisted the middle part around a shaft big enough for this screw to go through, and then twisted the end to make a kind of a ring connector. I'll just take these screws out. Of course, I need a different size Torx or a standard driver bit to remove that. I don't really recall doing this before, but like I say, I must have. I've owned this saw for quite a long time. It's probably going on something like 20 years. Let's take those out completely and put them down there so I don't lose them. Now, take this right out of there, and I want to save this. I want to put the new cord through this, and that'll, you know, keep the cord from breaking close to the body. Of course, it didn't stop it from breaking out here, but then these cords that these saws come with are pretty cheap. I think actually that's what happened. It broke in one place first, and then I moved it up, like made it shorter. I could do the same with this, except it's broken there. It's broken in a few other places too. So this is the new cord. It's about 10 or 11 feet long. It's a good quality rubber insulation cord, so it's going to last a good long time. Also, it's a 3 connector. It's got a ground wire in there. I'm not going to use the ground wire, not inside the saw. I will connect it to the ground prong on the plug though, because it doesn't hurt to have it there. I'm just going to shove the new cord through this sleeve. Then I'm going to trim about 1.5 inches of the insulation off of the new wire. Just very carefully score it around and just break it the rest of the way. I don't want to cut into the wires underneath. Pull that off. Now inside there's some paper, and they help give the cord some more strength. Just going to cut those off. Then I'm going to cut off the ground wire because there's no place to connect it inside the saw. The saw is double insulated, so it doesn't need the ground wire. And that leaves me with the black and the white. These are interchangeable inside the saw. It really doesn't matter which terminal you put them on the switch. Now to do this, all I need to do is split the wires in equal portions, wrap the first part just a little bit. Then I'm going to use the bigger Torx as a shaft to wrap the end around. And I'm going to wrap that tight. And so what that leaves me with is that ring that the screw will fit right into, and it'll tighten up very well inside the switch terminal. Do the same on the other one. Now I can take those and attach them to the switch. Screw through. This I'm just going to use my bit holder without the handle on it. Get these started. That one. And then this one. And tighten that down. Tighten that down and tuck the rest of the wire in around so that it doesn't interfere with anything. I give these a last tightening, and now it's ready to put back in the saw. Alright, well, the switch goes in the same way it came out. There are some holders in here for the wires, and try to get those in there so that the thing is out of the way. And then the wires from the cord go through here too. Now this is a bit tricky. I think I actually have to cut some more insulation off, because it looks like, yeah, this has to snake around there somehow, so this is going to be too thick. Okay, so let's try that again. I cut some more insulation off, about that much. That should make it clear this post in here. Get my switch put back in, get the wires tucked into that holder in there, and then it goes around that, and then it comes through this piece right here. Now this wire is a little bit bigger than the original, so it's a tight fit, but it still goes properly. So I'm going to make sure my sleeve is also in the right spot. I'm going to push the whole thing in. Now I'm just going to look it over again to make sure that there's nothing in the way where the screws go. I've got that small screw to put in where the switch is, and that holds that in place. Make sure that's tight. Check everything over. Make sure the switch operates. A little bit of dust inside there doesn't hurt anything, so I'm going to leave it. The repair places don't clean that out, so I'm not going to bother either. Take my outside part of the handle, put it in place, and you'll know soon enough if there's something in the way, because this won't go in flat and tight. My problem, I think, is that my cord, the new cord, is just a little bit thicker than the old one, so it's kind of a tight squeeze there. So it's probably going to have to be forced a little bit, but I don't think anything else is in the way. So flip it over and get the screws in. Next I got to take the plug off the old cord. That's just a matter of undoing this screw, completely pushing this sleeve back, and then taking the screws off the terminals in here. So there's my plug. Take this off, put it on my new cord, and this is a tight fit. I may actually have to ream out that hole so that this cord fits. Okay, I got the 3/8 bit here. I'm just going to hold that by hand and run the bit through. Taking a little bit off this doesn't hurt anything. They've got more than enough in here. Now I can get the cord through, hopefully. Still a tight fit, but I think it'll go. There it goes. Now I want to get the old cord and compare what I did. I didn't strip off very much insulation here at all, and I'm going to try to do the same with this. Only about 3/4 of an inch of the insulation. So I've got the insulation strip back on the 3 wires. I want to put the black one on the copper color, the white one on the zinc color, and of course the green one on the green screw terminal one. Just going to push that in. I've already loosened this screw. Push it in until it stops. Tighten the screw up. And then I'm going to pull that through that little hook that they have in here. And that kind of keeps it from pulling out, I guess. Do the same with the white. Push my wire in as much as I can and then tighten the screw. I can slip the cover down over it after I turn it around the right way. Push it all the way in, this, and then get the screw back in the other side. Screw goes in here and holds the whole arrangement together. Now the only thing left to do is to test the repair, and that's I was plugging it in. Got my fingers crossed, don't want to see any sparks. So far so good. Press the trigger, and it goes. Now not a lot to it, it didn't take long to do, and now I've got my saw in tip-top shape again. It goes without saying that every saw is different on the inside. You really have to take it apart, take the cover off to have a look inside to see if you want to proceed. Some are a little bit more difficult to do than this one. As usual, I hope you liked it, and see you next time.